gonna start recording. Okay. It's like trippy. It's like screens within screens. Okay. You know, I just thought of something. I should probably just do like incognito. I don't know why I didn't think of that before. But then, like, there's no risk of accidentally, you know, revealing my identity or the school where I work or any of that other stuff. So I should have, I don't know why I didn't do that in the past. Or it's less likely. What's up, Tushy? Okay, let's go ahead and get us in queue here. What? Is this April Fool's? Launch the game and press Alt F4 while the League of Clients is starting up. I mean, Alt isn't that exits you out of your current program, right? That's like an old meme. Or is that for real? Well, it's so that I don't reveal like my bank or the school where I work and stuff like that for streaming. Because there was that one time on when I was looking at op.gg for something, and I was looking for op.gg, and it, like, there was a Zillow ad that showed up with like any image, like the link to the house that my wife and I had been looking at. We didn't actually like go to that house, but it was like the actual literal address of a house that we had looked at on Zillow, and it showed up on one of those side scroll bars. Like, it almost literally gave up, like, doxed me where my actual address is in an ad on the sidebar. Yeah, I know, Scott. I mean, it can be used for that too. I don't know how that works, if that actually does. I suspect that it really doesn't work as well as a lot of people probably think it does, as far as like concealing things. But how are these online classes going? I don't know. We'll see. I'm giving them a couple of days to finish the writing that I give them. I live streamed my first class today. I guess just Cassidon. I live streamed my first class today, and I think we had a peak concurrent viewers of 6 out of the like 35 students in both of my classes that were in there. So we'll see. But I told them they don't have to attend the live stream. They can just go back and watch the replay and then do the writing. Because I know a lot of them have jobs. You know, they might have to be looking after some younger siblings while their parents are at home working. You know, they could be sick themselves. There's a lot of stuff going on there, potentially. I don't remember this many ads on Poor Professor, but Yasuo Nocturne. I guess we'll just do Rakan.
Let's dance.
But yeah, the numbers weren't looking great there. But I haven't gone through and tried to look at their what? Oh, E West. I forgot it does reset all that stuff. Okay, so Malphite's obnoxious. God, but he's like their only magic damage too. Malphite plus Yasuo. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed Rakan Women. Yeah. Yeah, it's like once you're no longer allowed to do it. Hey, what's up, Evan? Oh crap, let me get rid of the black screen here real quick. Yeah, they have a blitz on their team too. This is gonna be bad. So I'm not gonna get vision up.
Consequences only matter if I don't get away.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
I think Zaya told me to improvise. At least, that's the only part of the plan I remember.
I think we won twice. We went like 2 and 5 or something.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, I think it was 2 wins. Are we invading or not? I guess we're not. We're just defending.
I don't want a world that's safe.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see how it is. One person on Rate My Professor put up a bad review because I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was to the effect that I told them to try to stay safe and please observe the social distancing at the very end of the video. And he's just like, this professor is he's just spouting all this propaganda. He doesn't focus on English at all.
I do not.
He's just talking about a bunch of propaganda nonsense he doesn't understand. God, it's so sad when like science is all of a sudden propaganda. But anyways, I was kind of sad about that, but there's always going to be some people that are like that, you know, writing the review with lowercase standalone i's and stuff. It's like,
Supposed to hurt. Ecstasy.
but we'll see how it goes. I mean, the ultimate thing is, will students actually do the work and do the writing? We'll see. A lot of them didn't watch it live. I think there were like, the previous video, I believe, got like 26 or 27 views. That's good. I guess that a lot of them were watching it. I mean, that attendance is better than the normal attendance in classes, so. I mean, she flashed my W, dude. Like, what do you want? I guess I could have shielded over to him first, and then, I don't know. I mean, I could have done something better, but he could have done some better stuff, too. I probably could have shielded him and then W'd out. He could have also not let Blitz literally walk up and punch him. Because Blitz missed his hook, and he didn't even have his movement speed. I'm pretty sure. But
Without wild magic, we have no children. We have no.
Hey, thanks, Nicole. Thanks, Evan. Yeah, me too, buddy. I'm trying to get back in the groove. Haven't had a very successful couple of weeks on the main account, the old main account here, but that's all right.
Okay. Hit 'em wide. Burn 'em up.
I'm keeping the money, man. I need the money.
Hey.
If someone wants to donate a skin, they can donate a skin. But if they're giving me money, I'm gonna keep the money. I got bills to pay, man. Not even sure if I'm gonna have a job in the fall, depending on how long this goes. Not like the teaching job. Anyways, I'll have the channel, of course.
Danger is as fun as you let it be.
Hopefully. It's pushing towards us, so.
When I get sad,
Okay, never mind,
I
he's
stop
there.
being sad and be awesome instead. True story.
I mean, I guess Blitz flashed on him to knock him up, and this misfortune flashed my W. If I had shielded onto him, maybe, I don't know. I probably could have shielded onto him and then W'd. She still would have flashed my W, but I would have given him an extra, effectively 50 health. Maybe that would have been enough. She did kill him with the last auto, so maybe it would have been enough.
I will make them dance. I will make them hear.
I mean, if someone wants to donate to Lux, I'll do it. I can't promise I'm going to play Lux a ton right now, though. That's the problem. But she's not in an awesome spot for support. They gave her some buffs a little while ago. I was hoping she'd be a little bit better. I could get hooked here. This could be bad, because this is almost certainly going to be warded. Okay, there's Blitz, though. Okay. Hey, what's up, Mike? It is a cool looking skin. I think. I think I saw it when I was looking at the PD. I can't remember exactly, but I remember that skin line looking cool in general.
An ally has been slain.
The jump buddies. Oh, that's gonna be rough.
I dance because I'm free.
Okay, Malphite appears to be going tank.
Zaya says someone has to
Ostriches don't
die.
actually do that. We got ourselves an ostrich expert in here. I don't know. I've never seen an ostrich do that, but... More time to work on the dissertation, yeah. My wife would actually probably like that. She's like, you don't make any money doing that anyway, so why don't you just finish your dissertation? Well, yeah, I can at least say I'm married to a doctor. Well, he got out. Couldn't dodge the most obvious blitz hook in the world.
I'm here.
What is that? Is that an essay you're doing, Black? Hey, sorry this you me video is taking so long too. I'll tell you what, since this is taking longer because I've been just messing with all this personal stuff, just tell me a second champion that you want and I'll give you a second guide on the house, since this is taking so long to get this Yumi guide out, and then I'll have them both done by tomorrow. So just think of a second one that you want, and I'll do Yumi and I'll give you the second. And then let me read that phrase here in a second. Once I get a back time in here.
Has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
Long ago, all kind danced upon the mountain.
I could get run down by this blitz.
Now only the embers remain.
But Timo? Okay. Not Timo.
Take that. There's wildness in the bees and
Please. Okay, thank you, Draven.
magic.
Go ahead and get Mobies, because we're in kind of that weird zone where we couldn't complete Ninja Tabby, but we just had enough for Moby, so...
I got my look right.
Wait, what if the... Oh, people want Timo? Okay.
Time to show it.
He has his kick. What? How does he not kick her right there? Well, she's knocked up. I don't know. He's trying to stall. So I wasn't actually going to fight him, I was just trying to stall so Nocturne couldn't come over and take a smite at it. So he actually fell for it and stopped and cleared my ward that I dropped right in front of him while he was sweeping.
That's their problem.
And that bought an extra, like, 3 seconds.
Name
Turret plating will fall soon.
Join those two with a comma. No, nothing. It's nothing. If you're listing two titles like that, then you don't need a comma there. It's just like... I was unlucky. That literally just came up. I maybe didn't need to ult her there, but I wasn't sure where Nocturne was, if she was stalling for Nocturne, if he was going to roll up right here and ult or something. So I've learned my lesson so many times in the past. You just gotta, if you don't know, you just gotta make sure they die. You know, Mobies still feel really good. I haven't gotten Mobies in a while. Maybe it's just correct just to buck up and just pay the extra 100 gold.
Why is it taking so long to get back to the action?
An ally has been slain.
Know the
Your
phrases?
turret has been destroyed.
Type me out the whole sentence. Just give me the whole sentence. In like one line. Or not like just one message. Pretty dumb flash, or a pretty dumb dive without a wave. He can just ult me under tower. I didn't see him use his ult. Oh, okay.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
For humans,
oh,
magic
okay.
is like fire.
Colon.
For us,
Has been
Full
destroyed.
colon. If you're given a list. So if you're saying, this issue was broached by the two most outspoken advocates for women's rights, colon, author A and author B.
Fun.
So if you're setting up for what you're going to say in the next sentence, and it's kind of like a list, then you would use a full colon. A semicolon denotes a complete sentence, basically. And just listing like two authors and their works is not a complete sentence. Okay.
Enemy is dominating.
Yeah, full colon.
They think they should catch me.
Yeah, I'm not going in on that. Yeah, that's fine. Full colon, all of the titles, everything. Malphite's got an ult, I'm pretty sure.
Anybody there?
He doesn't have his ult? I don't know. I'm just spreading out so he can't ult everybody. Better dodge that, boy. Okay.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
It's probably top. Yeah, if it's not on me, it's top. Yeah. Where's Blitz? I think we can probably beat him one-on-one. They're getting another. Oh, it hurts. There's 3 people bottom, but
Ha! I'm G to the D. Golden diamonds, boy. Woo!
what is this school?
They're scared of darkness. They're scared of death. They are scared of where Let's see what's happening now.
Oof. He just hit that. Got a big wave here. Oh, I forgot to even use my Zeke. Straight noob 101. Alright. Yeah. Oh, we do have all the dragons too. I just realized that. That's nice. Even though Nocturne was just smashing us on kills, he just didn't get any objectives. I guess they did get that one Rift Herald, which put in some work, but it's extremely unlikely at diamond level play that Blitz is going to be able to steal a Baron from a Lee Sin that has Smite up. Lee Sin has an Execute on his Q, and he also has Smite, so, you know, he can spike it for like 1400 damage, and Blitz's hook is going to do like, you know, 200 after magic resist. Darius, dude. It's too strong, man. With any kind of shielding, like, I'm just shielding him and just knocking everybody up, and it's just everybody's dead. He doesn't even have that much defense. I guess he's got some, but, like, champion's just broken. Thank God Malphite went full tank, though. It's just basically worthless. Like, you kind of have to go full AP, I think. Not necessarily full AP, but you got to get some damage if you're Malphite, I think. I mean, like, the knockup is nice, but, like, after he presses R, he just basically doesn't do anything. Well, if Lee smited early, okay. If Lee smited early, then it could have been taken, yeah. That's true. I mean, maybe if everyone else was dead, I probably should have been up there trying to harass the Blitzcrank, because there's no way Blitz is killing me on his own. Or at least try to body block the hook. Top diff. There was kind of a top difference. I mean, I made some pretty good plays that game, too. Swagasaurus. I think I've seen that dude in my games before when I was in Platinum. I've probably seen pretty much everybody in Platinum over the years. We're finally falling down a little bit in our LP gains here. Yeah, Darius body blocked it anyways, but yeah, I probably should have. Because I'm not really in threat of dying to his hook at that. Like, he doesn't have any AP. I do think that, like, some AP on Blitz, like a Hextech GLP or something, might be interesting. But, yeah. I like to max W on Rakan. It gives you, like, really good trade potential. It gives you as much damage as your Q. I don't think that Q max is really, like, that viable in this meta right now. The W gives you very similar damage. If we look here. The W even gives you a little bit more damage, I think, than your Q, and most of your trades are going to be all-ins anyway. And it also, obviously, can hit multiple people in a team fight, and it has your CC on it. And it's a free dash. So when you're trying to, like, get to a situation, you can jump over a wall with W to get there faster, and then have it up by the time you get there half the time for the battle. So it's your own personal mobility, which helps you out in a large variety of situations. It's your big piece of CC for 1 second. It's AoE, and it does just as much or more damage than your Gleaming Quill. It actually does a little bit more. Now, the downsides to it is it does become a little expensive mana-wise. So it does go up in cost. So if you're spamming this, you know, in the laning phase, there is a higher chance that you're going to go out of mana, whereas your Q is a fixed cost. Keep in mind with Q, and a lot of people that don't play Rakan a lot don't realize this, the heal doesn't change no matter what. Whether you have 1 point in it or 5 points in it, your heal is the exact same. It's based on your character level. So the only thing that's different about it is the damage portion, right? And the cooldown, which goes down a little bit. This also lowers the cooldown on this ability by a lot. It's like 1.5 seconds each. So that's why I like it over Q. Now, the comparison with E is... that one's a little bit more debatable. Basically, if some people will max E, that's if you're going to go for more shielding stuff. Like if you're going to, you want to get like an Ardent Sensor and a Redemption, or some, like maybe an Athene's, some other type of plus healing and shielding item. You're going to take Revitalize. Then you can get this. This is obviously going to give you much better protection, and it does scale pretty well. I mean, the difference between an 80 shield and a 280 shield is a really big difference. The same deal, mana cost goes up a lot, so it does get expensive, but the cooldown does go up by a ton as well. And this also gives you a lot of mobility. So I could definitely see an argument for Battle Dance, but you're pretty much going to do no damage. And it's going to be really hard to get any kills on anybody in all-in trades. So if you're just trying to maybe scale up to later in the game and you know you're going to get plus healing and shielding stuff, maybe you can go for that one. I've tried it, but it just feels a little less aggressive. And the fact that you have to target somebody with the Battle Dance really lowers your mobility. You'll notice a huge difference if you start maxing W, just how much more often you can move around. And then if you try to go to anything else, it'll feel really clunky. It'll be like, oh god, if I just had, if my W was up just 2 seconds faster, I could have gotten out of that situation. Or if my W was up 2 seconds faster, I could have gotten one last piece of CC off, right, to kill that person before they killed my AD carry. So you'll run into that situation a lot where it'll feel like, man, if I just had like 1 or 2 more seconds. Now that can happen with your shield too, but I don't know. That's kind of worked the best for me. So I think Q's kind of out of the question in this meta. I think that it used to be a lot better before they nerfed it. It used to be a much lower cooldown. I think it could get to like 5 or 6 seconds. Back when Airy was really strong and everything in the sorcery tree was really strong in like 2017. You could at least get 3 points of Q in the laning phase. But since that build's kind of out, a lot of people will have a lot of sustain. Airy's a lot weaker than it used to be. It's a longer cooldown on the Q. I just don't think it's worth it in the laning phase. Yeah, no problem, Fausto. But there's no, like, hardcore consensus on that. There are a lot of high-level, really good Rakans that do all sorts of different things with his builds and items. So, but I think especially at kind of, under Challenger bracket and stuff like that, then W is going to be the best. It's just the best for Clown Fiestas. Dress up dolls. Well, I mean, at least part of their decision to make skins is based on popularity of champions. And, they're trying to do themed ideas too now to sell more skins, so to make them part of larger packages you can get like the KDA skins and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, they're both like very popular, fun champions. And yeah, I mean, people are gonna like cute girls and cute skins a lot of the time, so. Hey Scott, thoughts on going to university for a new career? It just depends on a lot of things, right? And I don't know kind of the situation in New Zealand with how that works. In the United States, to go to a university, usually it's a lot of money, unless you're like right out of school. Like in my state, if you're right out of high school and you had decent grades, then you get a lot of it paid for if you go to the state university, because there's a lottery here, and they use that lottery to partially fund people going to the university. So if you can get some kind of funding for it, maybe it's worth it. But you have to think about why you're doing it, right? Are you doing it to get a better career path, to get more money? Or are you doing it, for sort of your own personal enrichment and things like that? At that kind of late in the game, at 40, you can change careers. It's going to be a lot harder. There is sort of still kind of an ageist bias where I think a lot of companies want younger guns in there. They want those people in their 20s for like entry-level positions. Maybe. I mean, a lot of industries are very different than that. I know that if you're like an English grad student, for example, if you're like on the job market and you don't find a tenure track job within like 3 years, you're basically doomed. You're always going to be an adjunct lecturer type. You're never going to be a full professor. So other career fields might be a little different than that, but and it depends on like how much your experience has prepared you for whatever field you're going into. They picked Vayne also. I mean, our team other than Ezreal is pretty solid.
Let's dance.
In theory. Gold 1. I mean, he has 71% win rate. That's pretty extreme, though. He's duoed. That's why. I mean, they're both 77, 70. They're both smurfing, most likely. That guy does play a lot of Ezreal. I should have taken the CC reduction against them, though, the tenacity one. I got a little greedy not doing that. Well, I mean, part of it, you got to quantify your happiness, too, like I said. If it's for personal enrichment, if you really don't enjoy whatever your career path is now, and you would really enjoy doing that. I mean, a thing that I always tell students, or just anybody, you know, that wants to listen, is if at all possible, try to do something that you enjoy. Even if it's a little bit less money, because if you think about it, you know, for most people, about half of their waking life is going to be doing something job-related, right? If you're working 40 hours a week, you're awake 8 hours a day, you get 8 hours of sleep. You've got your weekends, but, and a lot of jobs are like, you know, salary jobs are way more than 40 hours. You know, a lot of them are pushing 50, 60. It's a medical career, like 80. So, you know, I would say you want to be doing something with that time that you enjoy. So even if you're making 30% less money, if it transforms from you hating your job into doing something that you enjoy, in my book, that would probably be worth. It does depend on people's financial situation, but I think that, I mean, you're a little bit older like I am. We're not old, but we're not, 20 anymore either. I think that's something that, especially people that haven't been in, like, a career, before, don't understand just how much that can affect your life if you really hate your job. And that's why a lot of people, end up switching careers so much, because they didn't think about that when they got their degree. Like, what is it actually going to be like doing this job? Is this an actual job that I could want to go to and actually do? Not everyone has the luxury of doing something that they enjoy. They might enjoy something where they just can't figure out how to get a job in it, or it's just really competitive and difficult, and they just have to do something to get by. And I get that, People got to work at Walmart. People got to, do a lot of stuff that's probably not the most glamorous job that they get hype about. Most people are like that. But if you have, the option to do something that you at least hate a little bit less than something else, then I think it's important to take that into consideration. But so that's kind of my really long, circuitous answer to your question. I would say I would go to the university if you think it's going to be a significant quality of life boost for you, or a significant monetary boost, and you're going to like the lifestyle that you have. If you think it's a good investment. Hey, thanks MW Design. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. Like, what I chose to do, makes virtually no money, but I cobble together a lot of stuff. We just live very cheaply. I run this channel on the side, as some extra, a little bit of extra income. I take care of my daughter a couple of days a week to save on daycare costs. So, we just save money. My wife's a good saver too, and she makes pretty decent money. Yeah, I've got Guardian. Is that weird? I mean, that's like 90% of Rakans take Guardian. So, yeah, I mean, you could... I feel like I would rather make the money work, just not spend as much and do something I enjoy. But there's a lot of people that, feel otherwise. There's other stuff I would enjoy, too. I would probably enjoy sales, and law and things like that. I thought about those jobs, but... I think I actually would have liked real estate, too, quite a bit. My wife really likes real estate also, but it is what it is, and I don't regret it. I still like what I do. Even though there are the occasional hater students, there's just gonna be that. You're just never gonna be able to please everybody. And I think the vast majority of students enjoy the class and get a lot out of it, so. I always try to keep in mind, too, when you're teaching freshman English, like 90% of the students aren't really big fans of English, right? Or they would have taken AP and tested out of it probably. You constantly get told in our culture, you know, why English is worthless, go do something in science, pretty much. So the fact there's so much like propaganda against English, so many people in my classes are not English majors and have had bad experiences with English or just don't enjoy it, and the fact that the majority of them do seem at least neutral to my class, I still count that as a huge win. It's definitely, the odds are stacked against you in a freshman level like distribution class like that people are required to take. I screwed that up, I think. Oh, he got it. Okay, good. My school is not closed for Corona. I teach at a university. We're doing distance learning. So actually, my my experience running the channel helps a lot because I'm just live streaming it from a separate channel that I have that I made just for that class. And I'm just live streaming it and then having students just do some daily writing on on Google Docs and submit them to a Google folder that I created for them. Damn, this Ezreal is actually pretty legit, I'm not gonna lie. How much longer? Okay, I don't think we're gonna get him.
Sucks without Zaya, but it is less complicated.
It's difficult to say. I'm not sure yet. I'm gonna have to go through and look because I'm giving them like, I say 48 hours, but I'm being pretty generous in the first week. If they do the writing, that counts as attendance now. So they don't have to watch the live stream. Hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. They don't have to watch the live stream because I know everyone's schedule is a little different. And I just made the live stream at noon. I was like, I am not getting up at 8 a.m. and doing a live stream of this class when I don't want to do it. No one else wants to do it. We don't have to do it anymore. So I'm doing it at noon. F y'all, pretty much. So I'm live streaming it at noon, and I know that, like, for some students, that's, they can't make it because they have a job or they have something else going on. So they can just watch the replay. Hey, what's up, Roach? We can grab a couple games if you want. Hope you're doing well, man. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it could be a godsend for some of those students that just were not able to make it to the 8 a.m. that they can now get attendance for just doing the work.
Riku, I did not rescue you from a cold, dead planet so that you could laugh at me.
So that some of them might pass because of that, because of Corona, because otherwise they may have failed due to attendance. Because our university has a very strict policy on attendance for freshman level classes. Like, you can't miss more than 3 weeks, and it was getting dire right before Corona. So we'll see. Hopefully it's better. I think the previous video that I did got like 26 views, which I assume are all from students. So I'll have to go through their daily writings and count them up. But that's probably better. We have about 35 students that are still like trying to pass the class between my two classes. Yeah, sounds good, man. Oh yeah, these boys be smurfing. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. Well, I know, Jolty, but they want you to like be actually present in a seat, so you can ask questions, so you're engaged. I mean, there is a massive correlation. I'll tell you, there's a massive correlation, which isn't necessarily causation. There's a huge correlation between attendance and performance on the essays. Students who don't show up do far, far worse on the essays. So, you know, it's a temptation. If you told students you don't have to go physically sit in that seat, you can just do all the work, you know, remotely and turn it in. Under normal circumstances, you're going to be failing a lot more students if you do that, because they don't necessarily know what's good for them. They kind of do, but, you know, the power of... Am I gonna die too, trying to save her? Probably. I should have just W'd out of there. Yeah, I was dressed up in a collared shirt. Damn it, Vayne got both of those, and Vayne's really good in Ezreal too. This Ezreal's like a good player, that's just a terrible matchup. I kind of liked Moby's last game. I think I might go back to trying those out again. Yeah, it's just a good habit to get into for freshmen. There are some, like, upper-level classes that don't do that, but for freshmen, you know, they're partially training you to, like, learn how to show up to things. So I'm usually fairly lenient if there are extenuating circumstances to it. I don't, you know, if someone actually is doing all the work and they're trying really hard, but they had some attendance problems, you know, sometimes there are ways where I will, you know, let them slide. But I'll tell you, the vast majority of the time, you know, they get that 7th absence and it's supposed to be a fail. I'll say, okay, you know, if you don't miss any more, you know, I'll give you a chance. You can still maybe pass the course, right? And then they get their 8th, and then they get their 9th, and then I say, hey, what's going on? And then they just don't talk to me when they go. And don't turn stuff in. There was one girl that missed like a month straight or something that came to me. She'd only attended one class. She came to me with this kind of, you know, relatively sad story about such and such and why she couldn't make it. And then I said, okay, look, you're going to be in a tough spot. But you can still pass if you do all the work. You know, just let me, you know, I can help you out with it. But we got to get you, you know, situated here. We got to get you on a timeline. And I met with her outside of class and, you know, worked her through, like, how she could approach the current project. And I was going to give her all of these, like, leniencies. And she just never came back after that. She just decided she wanted to fail anyways. I don't think I've ever seen it where someone had a huge attendance issue and I gave them leniency. And then they all of a sudden turned it around. Hopefully Teemo overchased.
Living the dream.
I don't want him to flash on me. Okay, good. I'm just trying to keep him around, keep him interested. Not that he was going to be able to go anywhere anyways, but... Or if somebody was about to, like, bleed out to poison, I could maybe shield him. It's getting weird. There was one girl, I gave a an eye to her, which is an incomplete, and they really tell you not to do that. And I was telling her all year, you have one calendar year technically to finish your eye, or to like do the missing work. So she was missing like one big essay. She didn't do the huge research essay, but she met the attendance stuff. And I kept giving her extensions, and she finished it like the day before the 1-year extension to turn it in. Most professors would not give them that long to do it, but I did. She was nice, but yeah, she just like wouldn't even talk to me for like 6 months. I'd email her like once every month or two. Like, hey, you want to like do that paper so you can pass the course so you don't have to retake it? She's like, nah. But anyways, I was like, you can literally like get a 70 on this paper and pass the course. I almost botched that. I didn't want to have to use my W on her. I can't go into that. We don't have Malachi. No, it wasn't that great, but it was good enough. It was good enough to pass. And it felt like she wrote it like 2 days before it came in, but it was good enough to pass, so that's all she wanted. There was one guy one year where I offered him the same deal. Like, he just kept showing up to class, but he just like wasn't doing any of the work. He didn't do the last 2 big essays, and at the end, you know, I kept telling him, hey, you want to do these essays? I'll still give you credit. You know, I have to give them some penalty, but even if it's a couple months late, if they do it and it's okay, I'll pass them, regardless of how late it is, really, honestly. But, I mean, they're not getting an A on it. But, I mean, like I've said before so many times, you really have to try to fail my class. Like, I don't just hand out free A's to everyone, but if you're working, if you're doing the work, like, I give people so many extensions and little, like, nice things, and the vast majority of people just never take advantage of it. In a good way. But yeah, it was just the end of the semester, and he, you know, he failed because he didn't do anything, and he was just like, can't you just pass me? And I was like, you didn't turn in the last 2 essays. I said, I'll tell you what. It was like over winter break. I said, hey, thanks for the sub, I appreciate it. I was like, I'll give you an extra 2 months to do this, right? But you have to get this in by February. You do these essays. Oh my god, dude. Why is Ezreal such a worthless piece of character? I mean, the player's okay, but the champion's just so bad. Like, I just got a full rotation on him with Ignite, CC chain on the Vayne. She doesn't even have Bork yet. They both have... He had 5 kills, she had 4. And she just blew him out of the water, wasn't even close.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
But yeah, then he just never responded to me and just took the fail. Well, alright.
Enemy rampage.
I know. Sometimes if you're so lenient, then
How did the Star Guardian see anything?
people just get complacent and they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna pass anyways. Like, sometimes it is those hard professors or those really harsh ones that kind of like, you know, scare you into doing stuff. I literally go, and if the student's like, I'm having trouble finding research, I will go with them to the bookshelves in the library and find their research with them. And pull the books off the shelf and help them find something. Like, during conferences. Like, I literally do everything except for write the essays for them, pretty much. I let them do revisions on any essay at any point during the semester. I mean, it's not even scaling. No, don't even say, like, if you're trying to say that Ezreal scales better than Vayne, like, that's not accurate, I don't think. I mean, it's a different kind of scaling in terms of poke. But it's just like, both of them are really bad early game. But that just illustrates just how bad Ezreal is. Because she wasn't even dodging his stuff. She literally ate everything. Like, I knocked her up with W, ignited her, he hit her like point blank, right in the face with his ult, with a WQ. I mean, it is a counter matchup, but... Well, the problem is, like, Ezreal is very, very popular and pretty strong in pro just because he is supremely safe, and they don't want to encourage people to play Ezreal all the time. Ezreal. Now he's getting some poke in there. Now that he's finished his Mirror Mana. This Ezreal's playing really well, too. I mean, I want to say that. I'm not, like, bashing the player. I'm just saying that the champion is rough. Like, this guy's probably the best Ezreal I've seen in a while. It's just so hard. I mean, Lulu with Vayne in particular, you know, that's really strong. So Lulu's gonna, you know, do a lot more for the Vayne than I'm gonna do for the Ezreal at this point in the game. But so I don't know. I think maybe they could give him a little bit of a buff. The problem is, like, and they're trying to do this with a lot of champions, is how do you buff him for, how do you buff him for solo queue without over buffing him for pro? And I think maybe, I don't really know, because everything in his kit is, like, potentially pretty good in both scenarios. Like, you could maybe buff his passive or something, like the extra attack speed that he gets or something like that, and nerf his, like, mobility. I don't know. They did give him some buffs. I think they gave his Q a little bit more. They gave his Q a little bit more of a ratio. I don't know. I think that, like, buffing the AP aspect of it is a solo queue thing that you wouldn't see in pro, so making him, like, giving him that burst option. Isa-esque type of thing. Maybe. I don't really know. Yeah, I mean, they could buff his movement speed by 5. That actually wouldn't be terrible. Yeah. I don't know. He's an extremely dangerous champion to buff. Because when he is really strong, he can be very, very good. Especially in pro. So he's just one of those, like, victims of pro play in solo queue. What's up, W2G? Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, ADCs just, like, get dumpstered by pro play, basically. Like, you just can't have a good ADC. Like, anything that's a good ADC gets nerfed, basically. Because, like, it's so narrow. Because, like, how they think about their nerfs a lot of times are, like, what's the presence? How strong is a champion? Like, is it crowding out other champions? And the thing is, most ADCs are so bad in pro that, you know, anything that's good is going to crowd out everything else. So it's not necessarily that Aphelios and Senna were, like, ultra OP compared to every champ in the game. It's just that every single team was playing them every single game because there aren't any other AD carries that are worth it, basically. And so that's why things like Kai'Sa, you know, get nerfed out, Senna gets nerfed out, Aphelios gets nerfed out, Ezreal gets nerfed out. Because people just complain non-stop about ADCs that are good in team environments where there's, like, really coordinated, strong play, and it usually scales to, like, mid to late game. So basically ADCs are just OP in pro a lot of times. And so they have to balance around that. Doing a Proving Grounds beta. I mean, I could. I mean, I'll have to look into what it is. I would probably rather just do SFO mod because I think Lucian is one that's like really under the hood right now. He's very strong in both pro and solo queue. So I would expect Lucian to start seeing more play after the other nerfs. I agree with Rosa. I think Tyson's pretty in like a better spot than it might seem. Oh, it's just disengage. That was a bad fight. Damn it. It's right around Dragon too, and we're missing like a lot of big cooldowns. Did they? I don't know if they even got Woe. I think they still have. I know Vayne blew her ult. I don't know if Set blew his or not. I guess I'm about to find out. God, Talia, I really need to learn Talia. I feel like she's very strong for like my my off role. I don't know if I'd play her support, but like for the off role, Smurf. Steal that? She did.
Used to be a square. Then I embraced the dark.
Malachi's caught though. He's like, hey, you know what? Everyone's going for Baron. Let me just go ahead and blindly push up mid.
Self-control is I think it's fun.
We don't have a tank though. I mean, I can kind of tank, I guess. That though. Sorry, I can't read all that right now. I'll have to read it after this. Yeah, Varus can be pretty good too. Varus is almost always kind of like on the fringe in pro. He's like kind of viable in a lot of situations. He's got like good engage, good utility, good range. How'd you even get a shroom over there? I was trying to Baron up those minions, but Vayne was coming down. See if I could get that tower. Okay, the Warhammer thing. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like SFO probably still just has better, like, better stuff going on, better modifications than Proving Ground, but I don't know. I'd have to look into Proving Ground to see. But the fact that Proving Ground is not, I don't think SFO is using Proving Ground stuff right now. I'd rather just do SFO. They just have so many extra, like, things that I enjoy. Yeah, that was rough. God, this Vayne is 13 and 4. It's such a huge issue right now with Lulu. Someone's got to get top. Yeah, we're just gonna have to get him dragon.
Perfection doesn't exist, except for my hair.
An enemy has been slain.
Yeah, let's let Vayne take that. I mean, if Vayne's not over here, I don't think they can fight this. We'll trade an inhibitor for a tier 1, sure. How the fuck did we screw that up? Like, if Maokai would have just run on the Lux immediately when I used Shurelia's, we would have just been able to kill her. Who cares about Sat? Kill the Lux. It's like, huh, let's dump all of our damage into this champion that, like, lights everybody up. Let's stall and give Vayne some more time to get back in. Like, if we would have killed Lux, it would have been a 3v5. Then we can kill Sat. Oh, God, we got him. Okay. Good news. That was a great play by Ezreal. Finally, we got some good news. Actually end or not. Yeah, I don't think we can. Why are we... Damn it, are we really doing the plat sit in a random bush thing? Instead of, like, getting priority around Baron? At least sit in this bush.
Stars are just sad.
Now they got priority mid, and they're gonna be able to come over here and sweep out all these wards. Probably. He's just dead, isn't he? There's not even a red buff. Like, why would they go look in that jungle? Like, what the hell's wrong with people? It's like, it's so, right? I mean, I'm not the only one, right? The easiest thing is go lock out Vision and sit on Baron and force them to face check. Like, why would you do anything else? Why would you even think anything else? Did we not get her? Where? Damn it, she's gonna kill everybody. Did she flash? How did the Vayne get out of there? Because I saw her little silhouette. She was in the pit, and I saw her silhouette right here, and I W'd. Then I had no clue where the hell she was. Oh well. I guess we got Baron. And then I just saw her, like, over here just blowing everybody up. I think she had to flash. Yeah, I mean, we got the Baron, but the thing is, we could have killed all of them and gotten the Baron. Or just kill them all and win the game. Like, all we had to do is get vision and just literally sit in this bush. That's it. We either get Baron or they come look at us, and usually they'll face check it. Talia's just like sitting in this random bush. Like, that's not even the most likely place they're gonna go. I mean, maybe, but like, you would want to at least sit in this bush, right? Like, that's where the traffic goes. It's like last time, why are you sitting in a bush that heads to red buff when there's not even a red buff? Killed me mid freaking dive. Kill the vein! Okay, please, Malachi. Please! Please! Okay, yes! Alright, I think we just went off of that. God.
Unstoppable.
Don't worry about the dragon. End game, end game, end game! Damn it, they stopped for like 5 seconds. Now they're... Are we seriously chasing a Teemo?
Thanks, Riku. Real cool.
We're not gonna get it.
An ally has been slain.
Please, somebody kill her! Fuck! No, she heals everything up. We just had to go get the dragon and kill the Teemo. Dude, if we lose this game, I'm gonna be real sad. Hey, let's go get an inconsequential water dragon. And then let's go chase Teemo all over the woods. It was literally like 3 seconds. That's all we needed, was 3 seconds to kill that Nexus. Like, it's a miracle if we kill Vayne in these fights. I mean, the game's basically 50-50 right now. Again, we might even be unfavored right now. Because Vayne is just so hard to deal with the Lulu. And she's got, you know, triple lifesteal items. We're just gonna have to bait him on the next Baron, I think. That's just the safest thing to do. Who cares? Just give him tier 2. I don't know if I would have wasted that.
Life is
Alright, we're just going burn it. Oh, got him.
You're welcome.
Your team has
Woo! Alright, we got him barely. What was that? Set. Man, that was a close one. I know, it was just really spooky. I honestly lost track of wherever the hell I was. I think I got displaced in that last fight. I mean, Ezreal did well, but I think my critique of Ezreal as a champion for solo queue still stands. He did get her in a couple of fights. I mean, the Vayne was definitely more impactful for their team. Like, she was way more important for their team than Ezreal was for our team. Ezreal did do well, but we just had an overall stronger team than they did. I mean, their entire team was Vayne. Like, no one else mattered. Like, Lulu mattered in so much as she buffed up the Vayne. But, like, Teemo didn't do anything. Set didn't really do anything. It was just all Vayne, Vayne, Vayne. That was the whole thing. But he did do very well at the end. I mean, the Talia was a huge deal. Everyone on our team, I thought, played pretty well. You also had a couple of questionable, you know, Yasuo things going on. I mean, I made mistakes too, but I think it was, you know, a lot of that was the Ezreal and the Talia were putting in some big numbers for us. Yeah, so this, I think I told you this, Phantom, but yeah, you would do, we explore the viewpoints, the most powerful articles written by 2 of the most outspoken women advocates, full colon, this and this by this person, and you would not have a comma right there with and. You would just say and the name of the other person. You don't need a comma there. You only put a comma where you see a conjunction word like an and, a but, or an or. You only put a comma if it's 2 complete thoughts on either side of that comma. So if you're just, or if it's a list of 3 or more things. Vayne was playing by herself. I thought the Lulu actually did pretty well. For the most part. Okay, let's see here. Oh no, is Roach AFK or is Roach here? We'll see if Roach is here or not. He may have passed out on his keyboard. How about that stock market today, though, man? That was crazy. It was like, okay, 3.4 million unemployment claims in 1 week. It was like quadruple the worst week of all time. And, like, coronavirus cases in the U.S. surpassed China. So it's like 85,000 cases in the U.S. or something. Let's go up 5% in the stock market. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know, man. Some of this stuff is just so goofy. I mean, it's because they're just, like, dumping just, like, insane, like, just wheelbarrows of cash, like, on everybody. They're just burying everyone in cash with the stimulus plan. Yeah, I guess that money's got to go somewhere. It is pretty nutty out there. I mean, that typically would be a sign for, you know, the market to bounce, but I just don't think that it can keep going up in the face of that much bad news. I just think maybe people were pricing in like absolute obliteration, and that might still happen. I don't know. It's just a pretty wacky market right now. But I just saw that and I thought that was amusing. But yeah, I was thinking kind of like what some of y'all are saying. Anyone that's been kind of trapped in here and it keeps going down, I was like, surely to God, some people are going to take some profits on that, because like 3 up days in the face of like terrible news. You can close up for longer than that. I mean, they're literally subsidizing all of the businesses with the $2 trillion for the most part. So companies, you know, can stay shut up for quite a while. A lot of them can. Oh, the event? Did I forget? Maybe I forgot to start the event. Duty or ambition? That's a good point. I need to do that. Duty or ambition? We'll go duty. Sure. I'm not sure. I don't know what that gives you, but I think that's more true to her lore, but I'm not an expert. She seems like she's a good guy at heart to me. Or a good gal at heart. I would do options to try to capitalize on the volatility if people are wanting to get in on things. If you're, you know, if you study up on options, that's what I would do. Like covered puts, or sell vertical call spreads if you want to try to go against the market instead of shorting. It's really dangerous to short this market though, because it can just blow up on a short squeeze where it just goes up and people just feel like they have to cover their shorts. Yeah, CCL. You know what? I told my wife last week I sold some puts on CCL. Hold on. Like lower. You could have it like when it was like $11 a share or something last week. That's Carnival Cruise Lines. You could have gotten I think it was like a 1% return off of the put over 3 days at a 40% discount. So that means you get a 1%, you could have gotten a 1% profit on it, and it would have had to have dropped from $11.50 a share down to like $7.50 a share over 3 days. And if you do that, the worst case scenario is you buy it for $7.50 a share. But if it doesn't get to that threshold, even if it does, you still keep the 1%. And 1% profit in 3 days for something that's got that kind of like downside security was pretty nuts. But there was a real threat if they didn't pass certain kinds of recovery measures that it could literally go to zero and go bankrupt. So that's a real risk. But yeah, it was. It did. I don't think it got all the way down to 7. It got to 8. I was watching that very closely because I got a little bit on a little bit of that action. But Yeah, it got down. It like the next day after I did that, it went down 33%. I was just like, oh my god. But I was like, you know what? I can hold it. I didn't put a ton of money in on it. I was like, I can hold it. I think they're gonna bail them out. I was like, I don't think they're gonna let the airlines and the cruises like literally go bankrupt. And their prices there, they're going bankrupt. Like, I'm sure it's gonna get cut when they do their earnings in a couple of weeks. But they had like a 15% dividend or something like that. ExxonMobil has like a 10% dividend right now. Like the dividends are just absolutely insane. It is another Ezreal. I didn't look this up, so it could be a problem. But it doesn't matter because Roach is gonna 1v9 this game anyways. So it did get down to 790. Yeah. But yeah, there are so many good things that could happen. You know, ethically, I think Exxon's a little dubious, but I mean, it's hard to like a 10% dividend when it's already like oil's like $20 a barrel. I mean, can it really go down that much more? I mean, probably a little bit, but there are so many good headlines that are possible. Like they could get some kind of bailout. The Saudis and the Russians could reach some kind of agreement. The stock market could just naturally go up, and if you just have to sit on it, whatever, you get a 10% dividend, which is like 10 times what the 30-year treasury is right now. Unless they like completely get rid of that dividend, but they have quite a bit of cash. That's just like insane. I don't think they're gonna cut that dividend.
I choose fun.
So yeah, that's one that I'm not like morally proud of, but
Minions have spawned.
I'm just doing short-term options. Covered puts. For y'all that don't know what that means, basically it's almost like you're an insurance company when you do that. You basically say, I will agree to buy this stock at a certain price, and you pay me a premium for that. So you're like, okay, if you pay me 1%, and I will agree to buy that stock if it falls right now like 10%. I'll agree to buy it. And so if it goes up, whatever, you get 1%, it's all good. If it goes down, if you're doing that with high quality companies, if it goes down, whatever, you bought the stock 10% lower than you wanted to buy it anyways, and you still get the 1%. So it's really like a win-win as long as you, you know, have the cash to cover it if you need to. It's a very, very good strategy in the long term, as long as you're investing in companies that are actually good companies and you're okay buying the stock lower. You can also do it the opposite way to get leverage, where you can say, I'll agree to sell a stock at a certain level. But there's like a really good way to do calls and puts, and there's a really bad way. So you can get like really cheap leverage.
Perfection doesn't exist.
And it decays over time. It is complicated. You'd have to look up options and study them. They're one of the more complicated sort of financial instruments that normal people can get into if you want to. But it basically just gives you a lot more options. I mean, it is called options, but it gives you a lot more versatility and control over the way that you want to invest in something. And a lot of it's based on time and volatility. So when everyone's really scared, you can make a crap load of money because you can charge a lot to be the insurer of their stocks, basically. And they're traded just like stocks. Like, it's not any crazy like backdoor. You got to call, you know, Jim, you know, down on the New York Exchange floor to book it. You know, you can do it with any sort of major online stock thing. You know, TD Ameritrade, E-Trade, any of that stuff. But you do have to study it because you can kind of get a little in over your head if you don't know what you're doing with it. It's very easy to get very greedy because you can start seeing some really like crazy numbers. So you got to be very disciplined with it. When I first started doing it, probably like 10 years ago, I was not as disciplined. jump, bro? Okay. So I didn't lose a ton of money, but I definitely had a couple of bad trades I learned from. What was that? Someone invite me to something? What are we doing here? This is another one where we're gonna get outscaled again. Twitch Yumi is disgusting also because when Twitch goes invisible, so is Yumi. And obviously he really likes attack speed that she gives out and the movement speed, so... Oh, y'all talking about gas prices? I'm not even sure, honestly. I haven't filled up the tank in weeks because I barely leave the house. I didn't really, like, drive that much to begin with.
But it is less complicated.
Like, even under normal circumstances, I was filling up my tank, like, once every few weeks or so. Damn, that sucks. Echo was right there. If he wasn't right there, he would have killed that Yumi. You get dividends for calls and puts. It's not technically classed as a dividend, it's called premium. And it decays over time. So basically, like, how it would work is, like I said, one of the more conservative ones, if you have a decent bit of capital just kind of sitting around, one of the more conservative ones is called a covered put. Which means, let's say that a stock is trading at $100 right now. And you can choose the expiration date also, so there's weekly options, monthly options, whatever the case is. I usually do weeklies just so I can reposition. But basically what it would be is, let's say you have a $100 stock, and on a Monday or something you come in and you know, check out the metrics in there, and you see that you can buy a call, or sell a call rather, or sell a put for $1 at a 90 strike price. Now that's like gonna be an extremely volatile stock if you can get that out of it, but what that would mean basically is you get $1 up front and it's traded in increments of 100 shares. So basically that means that you would get $100 and you get to keep that no matter what. But then if the stock goes down to $90 a share, you agree to buy 100 shares of it for $90, regardless of how low it goes. So, you know, if it goes down to, you know, $90, you would have to buy $9,000 worth of that stock, 100 shares of it. If it goes to $80, you would have to pay $90 a share for it, and it would be at $80. So, you know, you would lose money in the short term there, but you could just hold on to the stock if it's a quality stock and wait for it to go back up later if you want to. But if it goes up at all, you still get to keep your $100. If it goes to $91, you get to keep your $100 and nothing happens. So basically, if you're just scouting out looking for an entry point in a stock, if you're just saying, hey, I really want this stock, but I want it a little bit cheaper, and I just kind of want to wait on it, it's a really great way to do that. It's a lot better than doing like a buy order, I think, where it's like if a stock gets to a certain amount, then it automatically buys it for you. It's like, why not just go ahead and collect money while you're waiting? So the worst case scenario there is you buy a stock that you wanted anyways at a cheaper price. Like, that's the worst thing that could possibly happen, is you buy a stock that you probably wanted to buy anyways and you get it at a cheaper price. So that's why I think it's such a good strategy, because the worst case scenario is actually not that bad as long as you have the money to cover it. There's a bunch of different ones that are pretty good. I think TD Ameritrade's good. They're basically all free right now on the trades. A lot of them are. I don't think it really matters that much. I think E-Trade's pretty quality. But get blown out. But yeah, so I think that's one of the better strategies out there. You know, like I said, there are other things you can do to get really greedy, but as far as leverage, I think that's definitely one of the winning strategies. So you keep that taxable, it counts as a short-term capital gain, so it's different from a dividend. If you hold the stock for a long time, you get preferred tax treatment on dividends, like 15% that you get taxed on. But, you know, if you get that 1% per week in the rosy scenario, you know, that's a 50% return a year on doing something that's that conservative. Now, usually you can't get that kind of return every single week, right? Like in times that aren't this crazy, you can get like 1/3% a week instead of a whole percent on it. But that would still be like, you know, 15% or so. And you're going to have to buy some of those stocks. Some of them aren't going to work out, you know, as usual with stocks, but in the long term, it definitely has the potential to be an even more conservative way to deal with stocks. And like, you know, mutual funds and things like that like having that service too, where they can, you know, because they have to hold stocks a lot of times, like mutual funds and hedge funds, especially mutual funds, have to hold most of their money in stocks. So they can hold the stocks, but then they can buy the put. So they can give you $1 per share, right? And then they have insurance that no matter what happens, if the market completely craters, they can't lose any more than $10 a share on that stock in that hypothetical scenario. So it's like you're the insurance company. So people like insurance. People don't like paying for insurance, but people like it when the shit hits the fan. People like insurance. But the insurance companies also like insurance because most of the time the shit doesn't hit the fan and they end up making money. So that's one of the ways that you can actually be like the insurance company, basically. On a much smaller scale for stocks. Well, we're keeping up in CS, but they are probably going to outscale us pretty hard.
Population Rakan.
And the lotto, the best investment, yeah. Not sure if I'd go for that one. So yeah, a lot of people when they talk about options, they think about kind of the gambling kind where basically, you know, there are certain trades you can set up where you can say, hey, I want to pay $100. Like you can take the other side of that basically, just like I was talking about as the company. You can say, I will pay $100 and if it goes below, then I control 100 shares of this company, right? So then you could control 10,000 shares in a company for just $100, which is really compelling, right? But the problem is, it's really unlikely that it would go below $90 a share, and if it doesn't, then you lose that $100. So you can take the other side of the trade too. Yumi Twitch is crazy. So yeah, you can go for the like ultra high risk, like low probability reward trade too if you want. I don't like that as much. I would rather have the high probability, low returns of 1% a week. But I mean that can get crazy if you call something like that correctly for the $100. If it does drop to $80 a share, you would get like 10 times your money. So you could put up 100 and get like 1,000 if the market really like cratered right there. And you can buy multiple contracts of that. So if you bought 10 contracts of that for 1,000, then you would get $10,000 in like 3 days off of 1,000. You get a 10 times return, but that company would have to crater from $100 a share to 80 to make that profit. If it like goes down to 50, you would make 40 times your money. If it goes bankrupt, you'd make 90 times your money. So that's where like the insane money comes in, but it's not quite playing the lotto because it's just probabilities. And, you know, you can kind of figure out what you think different probability ranges are based on the volatility, but I think a lot of that's kind of fool's gold. That's how a lot of people use options, and that's why they get a bad rap. Because, you know, people that have gambling problems probably should not be using options because you can completely, like, you know, just get blown out. Echo is such an obnoxious champion. This is the third game. Well, this is gonna be rough. What do you mean this is why you don't play Yumi? They're blasting us and they're gonna outscale us with the Yumi. She's died once.
Kill evil. Can wear it like a sweet darkness.
They're probably gonna get that. We're gonna try. What? Yeah, check it out. There's some I can recommend you. If you'll email me, I could send you a couple of videos that explain it pretty simply. I mean, I think it's not much more complicated than I just broke down right there, but I can definitely, I know some really good ones that are not trying to sell you anything. They're not scams. They have really good information. Oh my god, how did she chase him? I guess she stuck to him with her, with the auto attack and followed him. Damn, is that him? Is that the legend?
Shut down. An ally has been slain.
Most obnoxious support champ in Season 10? Depends on what you play. I think Morgana's pretty damn obnoxious. I'm not gonna lie. Now, I personally don't play her that much, but she's like a very good and just like annoying champion to play against if you're playing a hard engaged champ. That's why she's banned a lot, even though she doesn't have like an insane win rate. People just don't want to deal with that. So, you know, obnoxious, I don't think that it's necessarily like the best champion, but certainly the one where there's a lot of feels bad if you're going against her. But yeah, just email me, Evan, and I'll hook you up. Hey, thanks, Curdy. Or I can show people after this video. I can look them up and just tell everybody. Because I used these guys. They broke it down and explained it really well. It's like it's a series where they tell you about different kinds of option strategies and break it down with examples for you. And I think they're like they're on YouTube. You don't have to subscribe to anything to get them. And I think it's a series of like maybe 10 videos or something about different elements of it. The way that it gets fully calculated, like how they make the market, is still a little fuzzy to me. They use like this kind of complex math thing called the Black-Scholes model, but it's traded just like a normal stock. Like you can see what the price is when you get it, and you can predict what's going to happen in different scenarios.
An enemy has been slain.
Now some of them can get way, way more complicated than what I just described. What I just described is one of the simplest things, and that's partially why I like it so much. Like the two most common ones are covered puts that I just mentioned there. They're good. Like when you sell a put, and then covered calls. A covered call is basically where what a Houdini. A covered call is basically where you own the stock, but then you basically give yourself like a little dividend and agree to sell a stock at a certain price. So pretty much it's almost the opposite of what I just said, where it's basically like you own a stock. Let's say you own 100 shares of a stock that are $100 each. And you want to hold on to it. You think it's still going to go up, but you want like a little bit of protection in case it goes down. You can cap your profits on that stock over a short period of time in exchange for some protection. So on a Monday, you could come in. If it was kind of volatile, you own 100 shares of it. You could say, you know what? I will agree to sell this for $110 a share. And someone can pay me $100 for that. So $1. So basically, if it goes to $115 a share, if it spikes up, you lose out on that last $5. The most you can ever make on that stock for the life of the contract is $110, so 1 week. But you get to keep that that $1 worth of stock. You get to keep the $100 for free no matter what. So, you know, kind of the worst case scenario, once again right here, is that you know, the stock busts up, like goes really high off of some like announcement, and you lose out on some profit. So you're making a little bit less money than you would, but you're still making a lot. You'd still be making $1,000 if it went, you know, above 110 a share. So that's just another way that people can hold stocks and just get a little bit of an income stream in order to limit your upside a little bit temporarily. Okay, thanks, Evan. So those are the two most common things that like smart money does with options. Echo is such an obnoxious champ. Dude, their comp is so good. Like the Yumi, maybe we should have dodged this. Like Echo is just such a ridiculous champion right now. And then Twitch with Yumi against Ezreal, we have no pressure on him in lane. They're just gonna outscale the hell out of us. I don't think Twitch is that weak. He's okay. I mean, if you're against a strong champion, but there are a lot of weak champs that are popular. Ezreal, you see, is basically every game. Everyone's playing Ezreal. Vayne, Kai'Sa, all of these champs, Twitch basically gets a free lane. And he's really, really good with Yumi, Nami, Janna, Lulu. I think Twitch is actually in a decent spot. Now, yes, he has bad matchups into, like, Misfortune, some of those
When
things.
Zaya and I were abandoned on the desolate
Elderwood orange.
I don't like being alone.
That was a lot of stuff going on. I got really greedy trying to shield the set there, buy him a little time. God, we're gonna get blown out here, probably. Okay, maybe not. They're doing it pretty slowly. Oh, we got it! The legend! Holy... God, well, they're throwing hard here.
Destroyed a turret.
Yeah, it was pretty nice. Zoe's good. I'm not entirely convinced that Zoe's overpowered in solo queue. She's good, though.
Most good guys.
I think Diana and Echo are more problematic. I mean, if you're an extremely good Zoe player, she can be good, but... What are we doing? Are we just doing the standard plat, hang out in a bush? Or diamond, I guess. Instead of pushing waves with Baron buff. Letting the support get all the farm in mid lane. Set can beat that Rengar, right? Yeah, there's no way Rengar beats Set at this point in the game, I think. Rengar's well, no, he's not rotating on us yet. Well, at least I shut the Twitch up for a little bit. Twitch is already healed up to full again. He's gonna go invisible and try to run us down. Wow, really? Rengar 1v1 the set, huh? Wait, he got Sterix. Why would you... Isn't that bad? I guess Yuumi could get on the Rengar, too. I didn't even think about that in terms of invisibility. I mean, it could be anywhere right now. We did get a nice steal. It's still an uphill battle. They need to do, like, one more really hard throw, because they still outscale. So it's like, that caught us back up, but if we just kind of trade punches with them, we're still going to potentially lose.
Used to be a square. Then, I embraced the darkness. Woohoo!
Now, that's a place where hanging out in a bush makes sense, because you know they're going for that objective. Why is it not coming out here? What the... Oh, is there somebody in this bush? Oh, okay. Holy crap. He was sitting in the bush the whole time.
Been slain.
Oh my god, I was like, what is going on? Fucking water drake map, man. This Yumi is a huge problem. Well, Baron's up in 30. Dude, how did he get there? Okay, nice. Well, he chased kills. God, I'm so low on resources, though. I think we just gotta push. I mean, y'all can start it. I have to get stuff, though. I don't have any wards. I can't fight. I don't have any cooldowns.
Double kill.
Holy fuck. He freaking swept it so that I couldn't, when he walked through the bush, it didn't show up. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, we needed more people to peel off and zone him with me. I tried.
Whoa! Danger brings out my bad side. Just kidding. All my sides are equally breathtaking.
Hey, thanks, Plat. We've been at 300 plus pretty steadily for like the last 5 months or so. Wait, how did he not die? Okay, he did die. Twitch is gonna clean everyone up. get towers off of this though. I think. You need to at least get one tier 2 and then. What do I even get as a final item? Do they even have any? Could get Locket. Could get Mikhail's. Could get Mikhail's.
Are just sad,
So many
lonely
actives.
boats floating in space,
Makes it very difficult to manage in
revolving
fights, but
endlessly in a cycle they can't control. Anyone have chocolate?
because like a
Critter
Yumi stun is a big deal, a Zoe bubble is a big deal, getting hit by an Echo stun is a big deal for people on our team. We need to like bait him. Okay, he's down there.
No Star Guardian can say the same.
See if they'll rotate on us or not. Need to kind of stay. We're just gonna give him free mid tower. Yeah, we just need to just push up middle and just see if we can just force a fight. Yeah, split up. I think we lose off that. Maybe LeBlanc. Does he have GA? Oh my god, the GA plus Yumi.
Legendary.
I should have just run away instead of trying to peel for Olaf there. I didn't even notice he has the GA. It's so gross. Probably took our red.
I love evil love. Way more fun when you give up the rules.
An ally has been slain.
Pay us out scale. Ah. Just have so many heals with the Yumi and like Echo being able to ult and GAs and stopwatches. That was a close game, but I mean, like, the Ezreal had a good score, but I mean, their team comp is just too nuts. Like, they just have too much sustained damage and too many ways to mitigate our burst. With the Yuumi, her ult, like I said, the GAs, the stopwatches. You know, if we kill Twitch immediately in the fight, like, maybe. But they had so much power on their team. Let me look up, oh, that was so badass. I remember watching that game with Kobe, where Matt Barnes is trying to, like, throw the ball in his face, and he just wasn't having any of it. And then they ended up being teammates and actually doing, I think, fairly well. I think that was, Matt Barnes was part of their team that won a couple of championships in, I think it was 2010 and 2009, 2010. Hey, thanks, Wadden. This one, Option Alpha. It's one that I watched. So it's like, it's old, but the same, I mean, the same stuff applies. There's probably, some of these other guys are probably good too. But this one was broken down, and it was very simple. And it's like a whole playlist that you can see. And each one of them, you know, like 30 to 40 minutes. But they have like some nice little charts where they just break it down and explain stuff for you. You know, they do have a premium service that you could get, but they don't money wall a lot of their stuff. And it's just really easy to break down, really easy to understand. So I really learned a lot from them. I thought they were pretty solid. So yeah, just any of these videos are all pretty simple. I think that What's Your Edge one is one of the best ones, because it tells you how you can gain an advantage through options in general. And then how to generate consistent income through options. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. And as you can see, they have a lot. It's got that same looking kind of basic thumbnail. So that's who I recommend if you want to learn more about sort of what I was talking about a little bit over there. I think they're one of the better places to check out. Yeah, I mean, Echo was a huge pest. The Echo was pretty smart. He was playing pretty well. Yeah, I might play a Smurf game here in a little bit. I have been like dodging on my main and then going to the Smurf during dodge timers. But yeah, I'll probably Smurf it up here in a second to get a little variety in there. Sort of. I was, during that last game, a little bit Francis, and some people were asking about any sort of videos that would explain some of those things. Yeah, I was talking about options, which are another kind of like stocks, but a little different. They're what you'll hear people call derivatives. So it's like based on stocks, but it's a little different. Um, yeah, that was really sneaky. I've never seen that before with an ocean drake where someone just like sits in the bush to not aggro the drake or to like keep the drake in there. I don't think he was thinking that he wanted to keep it in there. I think he was just wanting to try to steal it, but it worked out that way, and none of us could figure it out fast enough. And then he just ended up stealing it. I tried to W him, but he was doing a really good job of dodging a lot of my stuff. Um, okay, all in. All right, so we'll play a couple of Smurf games here. I've thought about trying out Dinger. Um, okay, let me add him. Oh, he just had me? Okay, got him. Do I like the new system interface of LoL? It's okay. I mean, I don't really care that much either way. I think it's fine. I don't know what's OP. I can't say anything to him like, go Luck, she's OP, because I haven't played TFT in like half a year. But, okay, I'll invite him, I suppose. I mean, that was a good game. We had chances to win. It was a good game. You know, that's about all you can ask for. I made some mistakes. Everyone made some mistakes. It was, I mean, it was a good game of League of Legends. We didn't win, and that kind of sucks, but it's fine. What is his record, anyways? On his Smurf. He hasn't played a ton. He's played some. But he's sort of just playing whatever. What's his, I think his main is probably about 50-50. Yeah. He's Diamond 3, though. If you guys don't know Roach, he's I don't know if he has his Discord or not. Sometimes we talk on here. He's fun to talk to. I don't know if he's chilling or not, because sometimes he just likes to chill and listen to his music and stuff. But if you're newer to the channel, he's like a long time friend of the channel that we duo with from time to time. He's on a college team. He got like a scholarship to play on their esports team. I think last time my audio was messed up when I was on Discord. Sure. Okay, it's saying there's a bunch of other stuff there. What do I ban? I just banned Yi in this. Oh, Wukong. Oh, we already banned Wukong. Okay, Yi.
Doubt is the greatest enemy.
Okay, let me see if my audio is working here. Yo, is audio... Okay, looks like my audio is working. Okay. We'll kick it off. I don't think I have enough blue essence for Dinger. We'll get a win here. Hopefully, we'll go for the old.
There is no antidote for me.
We'll cast you out here. Those were we did have some pretty good games tonight on the main. I think all of those were, from what I'm remembering, were fairly competitive. What is Tiger King? I guess not, so I don't know what it is. It's like a new series. I think I heard someone either mention that on Discord or on Facebook or something the other day. Huh. I made a Discord for the class and I just realized on accident that it says like what I'm playing. Can I change that on Discord? Because I think some of the students might see that I'm playing League of Legends. Is there a way to like not let people see which games you're playing on Discord? Because I feel like if they see me playing League, if someone logs in at 3 in the morning for whatever reason, they see me on League. I mean, I guess that's not like the worst thing in the world, but it could be interesting. Oh, are you in here, Roach? Wait, I see you lighting up. Do you hear me? Okay, hold on. Let me... Here, type in the chat of the stream if you can hear me. Because I see mine lighting up this time, and I saw yours lighting up, but I don't hear you. Damn it. You can hear me. Can we do, okay, let me check the output device.
So many strings waiting to be pulled.
Wait, I would need the input, right? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out after this game. Such an old fogey.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Can we do League chat this game?
Watch your step.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Okay. Sorry, I don't know why I can't figure that out. Can you hear me on this?
Yeah.
Okay, I hear you on this one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell. It was asking me if I wanted to confirm these different settings, and I was like, yeah, sure, and I must have messed it up.
No. Flexible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Uh-oh.
It's weird.
It's on.
Oh, GG.
Minions have spawned.
So are you still at the university, or did you go home?
And me closer.
No, I'm chilling at my grandparents' house.
Oh, okay.
I have
okay.
been for all of spring break, and that's when everything like started getting serious.
Oh, I gotcha.
I was thinking about going home sometime soon, but I don't know. Just kind of hanging out up here.
Gotcha. Gonna ask about those chickens.
Yeah, yeah. Don't want to know about those chickens.
Alright, what is my... Oh, we got support Malphite, okay.
Power requires precision.
Oh no, is he dead again? We can't fight him level 1, I don't think. I mean, can we? Maybe. I don't have my E. So worthless.
Enemy double kill.
I like to
I don't know where this game or this Darius went. Just kind of stood there for a second, just left.
Hey, what's up, King Williams? I really thought I could turn that. I mean, I had my Conqueror fully stacked, but without my E. Like, Malphite's literally just running around in circles.
do not attempt a break.
Should have tried it.
Yeah, he just backed and TP'd back. What the hell? With 4 CS.
Heh. Hard mode engaged. Hey, thanks, LD Williams. I appreciate it. Can Braum ever be good? I mean, Braum is very good in, like, Challenger. The problem is he's, like, balanced around pro play, so unless you have a really highly organized team, it's tough in solo queue. If you have a really strong AD carry that's worth protecting, then, like, his shield's gonna be really good, but... Run out of mana. Fail. I thought that was my... I thought that was a potion. Place a random, control word in there. But yeah, I would say with Lucian, kind of what other people said, if you have a Lucian on your team that's pretty good, it can be good, but most other people, not so much. Lucian, because his double tap stacks your passive faster. But like Braum and Tom are pretty much like forever staples in Challenger and Pro, but it's because the AD carries are really worth protecting a lot more. AD carry as a role, I feel like, changes the most as you move up. I feel like it's... most AD carries are pretty bad. in lower brackets and not really worth protecting. Within a challenger, it's like the most important role or one of them. Or in pro. Because they just shine so much in like slower tempo games where they have like actual protection and heal from the team. So obnoxious.
I'm about to hit 6. You guys need to know.
I think we're good for now. We might need to like activate. Well, yeah, maybe, but I think we're just gonna die. Might save me. Probably save me. Well, at least at 6, he's got a point click. Can do something, hopefully.
I just killed myself.
An ally has
Literally, I'm so bad at this game. Holy shit.
Did you get pulled under tower or something?
Yeah, I literally queued him as he was pulling me under tower.
Whatever happened to Tom Kinch? I mean, exact same deal. Like, he's too strong in pro, so they had to nerf the crap out of him for... And that hurt solo queue. He still played in pro. I think he's still one of the highest win rate supports in pro. People have asked me before, what about Malphite support? This is what about Malphite support. In this lane right now, you literally don't do anything until 6. I mean, he does have a good level 6, but it's like... You can play other stuff that has good engage too. You play Alistar or... Nautilus. I mean, Alistar's not even that great, but I take Alistar over Malphite. You basically have a Malphite ult on command on like a 12-second cooldown. But, you know, he does have a really powerful level 6 whenever it's off cooldown, so that'll get us back in the game. Oh, they're doing the fasting center thing. I just noticed that. With Tarek. We're keeping up in CS though. Does he have the audacity to ping me as a freaking... He died with Ignite. And he's playing Malphite support and he's pinging me because he got hit with a skill shot.
Wealth is valuable only as a means to power.
Alright.
an enemy is dominating.
Huh. This is going pretty far, right? Let's go.
Yeah, it's getting a little weird here. First item blasting one, not quite. We almost won that. If I just had a little bit more, I think we can turn this around down here. They're not really respecting Cassio's damage. I just don't have it quite yet. The Terracol is going to be obnoxious for that. Nautilus is okay. Like, his best days are a little behind him, but... Just kill him, dude! Oh my god. That's why you don't try to hand off kills. I mean, I appreciate that he's trying to hand me that kill, but it's like, dude, just kill him.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright. It's just like tanks in general. I've talked about this a lot. I should probably make a video on it, but in general are almost always going to be like, they're not going to be super meta. I mean, like, they're still this might be a mistake. It's difficult for them to be meta, I'll put it that way, because pros abuse them and they end up getting nerfed out a lot. For them to be meta in solo queue. Because pros abuse them too much, they require a lot of teamwork, and usually just the enchanters are almost always going to be the highest win rate stuff in most solo queue brackets. Has a lot of magic resist. Oh my god.
I'm starting to rack up some free gold up here.
Nice. I'm gonna try to stop chain feeding down here. This Senna's got 7 kills though.
Hey, we got that Dark Harvest Kai'Sa mid to rely on.
That's right. Okay, he might kill him here, or no, he's just gonna feed another kill. No, we got him. Okay. She's dead.
Shut down. An ally has been slain. Will soon fall.
Pretty obnoxious. You don't need it, Eve. And I need some money or I'm going to be worthless. I really need to complete this Archangel. I think I've just about got enough for it. I don't know how he dodged my my ult there. Guess he just sidestepped it.
Okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
4 people up there.
And like everything they have, that's crazy.
An enemy has been slain.
Careful now. I bite.
An enemy has been
Wouldn't impressive specimen that Malphite is.
Yeah, got him.
Actually, just a skilled player.
I'll take care of everything.
Zed could be coming up on me again. He probably is. Like geared up for Zed.
Zed is top.
Enemy killing spree.
Coming up over here.
Think what I could offer.
They had it warded.
Oh, he almost hit me with that.
Eh. That's gonna come rolling up.
Evelyn actually wasn't even worried about smiting that drag. She was nowhere near that thing.
Shut down.
God, I can't believe that garbage worked.
Killing spree.
Okay, well, if Zed's just gonna try to focus me out, I'm gonna have to get, supplies.
An ally has been slain.
650 for stopwatch.
Why are they all still here? Oh,
Nah.
Every problem is another.
I hate.
Lulu can work with other. I mean, anything that wants a lot of attack speed, especially stuff that's gonna get Gensu, is like pretty good with Vayne too. Scary. How did my ult not go off? Did my ult get interrupted? It went on cooldown, but I didn't see it actually. Like, I didn't see the particles.
Violence is so messy.
You almost outplay. Farming set here, but this game is like non-stop fight. Oof. That was a hit.
Yeah, it didn't look like it felt good.
Nice. Oh, Eve's super fed too. I just noticed that. Damn, that slow on Kaisa is so brutal.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Do you have a longing? Or would you like one?
Oh god, this is for the soul.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
No way! He simultaneously put his shadow in the bush and looked away at the same time. God damn. This is terrible. Dude, that Tarek Senna is pretty obnoxious.
I don't know, the full AP Arcane Comet, Malphite, and Dark Harvest kind of saw probably don't help either.
Violence? No.
Yeah.
Flexible.
Pretty clowny game.
Turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, just got one-shotted. Nice.
alive.
slain.
I can never
Keep
just
your
stop chain
enemies
feeding.
Close, and me closer.
I don't think Lulu's better than Yumi in a lot of cases. There are some cases where, yeah, but I think you just really underestimate Yumi. I think Yumi's really good. I know you love playing Yumi, and she's not. I don't know. I think Yumi's pretty good, especially at higher elos. Her AP ratios are not better. I don't think. I mean, I don't know. I don't have hard evidence on that, but. I mean, the biggest thing is, like, especially later in the game, you can't pick the Yumi because she just sits on a big tank. You can pick off Lulu.
The enemy has been slain.
Alright, can we try to make a dragon? Any vision nowhere.
Our whole team is strong.
An ally has been slain.
That dude hates his life.
Yeah. How did they not?
An ally has been slain.
I don't know how this is happening here.
We gotta pick the strongest person. Kaisa just does like 1,000 damage with an auto. Or not Kaisa, it's Senna. Like 800 range.
Has been slain. Your turret has been destroyed.
1,800 damage. She hit me once, I'm pretty sure, for 1,800.
Your inhibitor has been destroyed.
So bad.
If you don't control,
Yeah, let's do this.
That was quite the game.
Yeah. I think when I picked, I mean, I should have picked an AD. I don't know. If we didn't screw it up early bottom, I'm pretty sure we could have dominated bottom. Like I could have if I didn't get wrapped up in that level 1 shenanigans there. It's got so far ahead. This guy's like, I don't understand. Their 80 carry only had 58 CS. It's like, dude. Dude.
Yeah, that one was kind of bone from the get-go.
Yeah. It's probably the worst one I've had in a while. It was rough.
Oh, I'm probably about to just head off to bed.
Okay, man. Yeah, it's all good. I can catch you another time.
Alright, fun up.
Alright, peace, man. That was rough. Our first game was good. It was good. That was a really competitive, like, good game. But that game, I don't know. We just got me specifically. He did pretty well. I was just playing like garbage. I understand, Jolty. I mean, I don't know. Like, Lulu's okay. Like, she's not bad. I mean, it just really depends on the situation. But I think that, you know, when played at, like, really maximum capacities on functioning teams, that, like, Yumi is going to be higher impact than Lulu a lot of times. But Nami, like... Nami just trades a lot better. A big thing, like, so the problems with Lulu are that her Q's worthless. It's like you get a little bit of trading in the very early levels. And then a lot of her power is wrapped up in her W, but you have to choose, you know, are you going to buff up your AD carry? Or give, like, movement speed to your engage, like your Darius or your Hecarim or something? Or are you going to polymorph one of the enemy champions? So, like, it's really powerful, but the fact is you have to choose one of those. And that's, like, the best part about her. And then her E, you know, is kind of a basic shield. They have buffed the shield a couple of times. It's like an 8-second cooldown now, and I think it's a 220 base, so it's a pretty good shield. And then her ult is nice, but it's only single target, and it's a low, like, relatively low infusion of health with a low AP ratio. That doesn't benefit from plus healing or shielding or revitalize, or if they have spirit visage or anything like that, it doesn't get any benefit out of it. And she doesn't have a heal, so if you take a bad trade in the laning phase, then that's a problem. So it's kind of like, you know, Nami and Sona can dumpster her in the lane because they both have heals and they do damage. I don't know who the free champs are. What's a 240 base? Lulu Shield? You sure it's back to 240? You're talking about the ult. The ult is like... I thought the ult was like 150 or something. Okay, they did buff it back up to the 240 with a 0.6, so okay. But still, I don't know. I mean, I could try her out again. Like, there are times where, you know, she can be really good. Like, she's good at buffing up single target stuff, but I just feel like in team fights, she can get outshined by a lot of the other ADCs out there. No, dude. Seriously? Who did I banned Kassadin. I was on autopilot. I would have banned Wukong though. I'm not playing versus Terraki. When are they just gonna fix that garbage? I get so tired of it. Top lane.
Quest accepted. Wait, where are we going?
Oh, they're switching. Those two probably are. Hey, thanks, Flippy. Congrats, buddy. We'll just dodge this and go back on the main. It's not technically like booster. Well, it might actually be Swain support or Vel'Koz support. It's a 3-second route on her Morgana's Q. I mean, Morgana is like a good counter pick champion into like the CC champs, but her cooldowns are really long, and then I don't know. Morgana can be good, but I just think her ult and her W are fairly subpar compared to other supports. But I mean, the Black Shield is really strong. I think they did buff the Black Shield a patch or two ago. So I mean, she is good into things like Leona and Nautilus. She's good with things like Caitlyn. Nah, I'm pretty sure they were gonna switch, where it was gonna be Kale top and Leona. I'm pretty sure they were duoed. Leona bot, but that sucks. It's so hard to get wins with Roach, even though we're both good players. That was an atrocious game with Cassiopeia. That was really bad though. But the previous one I thought was pretty good. I thought we both played pretty well on our main accounts, and it was just unfortunate. We just got out comped. We were really far behind, almost came back, but if we had gotten that second Baron, if we had been able to keep Echo out of the pit, that might have been enough. But it was going to be really, really hard. Morg? I mean, what is Morg's win rate? I don't know. I mean, maybe I could consider Morg as a counter pick. To be fair, I haven't tried her out in a while. I just felt like I just didn't have enough stuff. Like, in team fights, it's like, okay, I throw my Q, and then I've got a black shield, and I feel like I'm just walking around auto-attacking.
Who questions my ability?
It just feels like I don't have enough tools. It's like other champs. This guy wants to hide his pick. That's fine. I would like to play something other than Rakan again. It's fun, but if I've got a basically first pick, which the top lane getting the counter pick is much more important than me having a counter pick, because like Rakan's fine, and even like the worst matchups, like you can work around it. So just letting him see what they're gonna do is probably better. I didn't notice he was a Wukong, but they had first pick, so I don't want to risk giving them Wukong either. Oh, the background. Yeah. She's fun, you know, I know everyone, well, hopefully, most people like their kids, but I think our daughter's, she's a pretty cool kid. That's pretty low for it. Like, that's the thing, is Morg has a 49% win rate, but she, in theory, should hard counter all of the really popular picks. I think, like, Thresh, Nautilus, Leona, all of those are probably, like, 3 of the top 5 most picked champs right now. Oh, God. Maokai and Lux are both pretty rough. Have any games on Teemo?
Let's dance.
Wait, that guy's top. Oh, this guy's. What the hell's going on? I'm dodging this. Everything's all out of order here for some reason. So this was our bot laner, who is Kaisa. This was probably the team. Yeah, this was the Teemo guy who does have some experience on Teemo top, and this was our mid laner on Zed, I believe, right? So it's a 44% Kaisa, 38% Zed. Our jungler was okay, but like Maokai was really good against our comp. Teemo is just rough. Well, it wasn't I thought it was the Echo guy, but it wasn't. The Echo guy is slotted in right here like he's supposed to be top lane, but he was poor Professor screwed everything up right there. Like, this was the top lane guy. It says he was AD carry. Oh, that's his main role. That's what it is. So it's like 3 people are basically off-rolled. So we had like 3 autofills, and 2 of them have significantly under a 50% win rate. So, alright. Well, the other one should probably just about be off the dodge timer. You can try that one again. Yeah, and the comp itself was just not that great. Like, Kai'Sa's not an amazing champ right now. Teemo is, most of the time, pretty worthless. Like, he can dominate lane, but he just doesn't have any utility. Like, he doesn't buff anybody. He can't engage. He's not tanky. He's just, like, a very greedy, like, early game bully. I don't know. I'm just, like, Teemo can't, like... I've seen Teemo do well, obviously, in the past, but and I think he has like a 50% win rate, but well, Morg has a really high ban rate because no one wants to play against her. She's a very, annoying champ if you're playing an engage. Who do I have? I kind of feel like playing something a little different. Misfortune would be interesting. How much is Misfortune? Senna's alright too, but where? Oh, we have to go to the shop here. Is she like 4,800? Ash could be kind of interesting. I didn't realize Tarek was that cheap. We could play Teemo Bot. Oh, we could do Vagar. I don't know if Carlos. I don't think Carlos is out there right now, but wow, Akali's really cheap too. Dinger would be kind of fun. My last hitting with Dinger would be pretty bad. But he is theoretically, like, he almost always has a pretty high win rate in bot lane. He's great against dive comps. He does take dragons quickly, takes towers quickly. Maybe I could try the Dinger out. He's hard to play, but I need 3,100 for that. Okay, let me see if I can get Dinger. Can't get used to these new icons. Okay. Zach would be fun. So getting the 40, so he's 2,600. So getting the 4,800 out of him. Oh no, the disenchant's only worth 960. Can I even afford him? So he was 31 something, so that means I need like 1,800. So that's 1,500. I think I can get him without getting rid of Twitch, because I might actually want to play Twitch. Oh no, Zach's okay, but okay, I'm gonna try it out. We'll try the Dinger out. Dinger would be my type of champ that I would enjoy. I'm wondering if, like, Malzahar would be alright, too. My last hitting with Dinger is going to be awful early on. Yeah, we'll go one more. What's up, Grey Graves? We'll go one or two more. We'll see. Okay, let's see if we can become a Dinger master in a handful of games. People say that you have to close out early, though, in pros when Dinger is played. With certain comps, because he just doesn't do as much sustain. I'm not sure if that's necessarily the case in normal solo queue, but I need like a defensive pick in case they have a ton of engage with Cassiopeia or whatever. Okay, so it's Comet. This guy does Comet and W Max. Biscuits and Cosmic Insight. Mana Flow, Transcendence, Scorch. I don't know what his ratios are. And then looks like he does a bunch of different stuff. Ludens seems most common. Looks like he always goes Comet. Well, no, these games he's trying out Glacial Augment. I'm obviously not good enough to know when I should be doing which ones.
Who questions my ability?
Now these guys are also probably, well, this guy's actually playing it as ADC. Okay, so he does take TP and he does W max. Now he goes for the lifesteal. Taste of Blood, Ravenous. He likes GLP. And then Zanya is probably second. Well, it depends. Zanya's Morello looks pretty common. That's where I typically will go, is like, who are the top one tricks? Because obviously they play him a lot in solo queue. Okay, this guy also goes for Comet, Ravenous, GLP, TP. Comet, Ravenous. He likes Ludens. They're all like high diamond.
Indeed, a wise choice.
What does he take secondaries? He go. A lot of them do go with Scorch. It's always W max. Really, nobody likes Presence of Mind. I guess the healing just allows you to pressure lane a lot more. This guy's given up on Dinger. He's forsaken the Dinger for Kled, it looks like. He plays him top, so that's a little bit different. Okay. Alright, we'll try it out. Are they doing Transcendence second? This is probably going to be really bad, because, like, Katarina, I don't know. The Sunfire Morgana strategy? You don't want to do that, man. It's troll. Like, Sunfire is so you have a lot of wave clear. Right, like, that's the whole Sunfire is not very cost efficient. It's just so that you have a lot of wave clear. Like, that's the big reason why you would go Sunfire. God, their team is nasty. But she should, like, if you want wave clear, just put a lot of points in your W. Like, it's pretty good wave clear for solo lane. I think that's just trying to get too cute. You could do something like a GLP on her. I could see something like that. GLP plus Twin Shadows with Glacial Augment type of build. I could see something like that working, but...
Back to the drawing board.
what are the
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until
I mean, it'd probably
minions
burn
spawn.
people with that, but it's like
By my
you're paying like
calculations,
6,000 gold for like a cute interaction, you know? Like, I don't know. There might be some champions, like maybe Maokai or something, like top lane could try something like that. Sunfire, Leandries. I just don't think that that's a Morgana thing.
Minions have spawned.
Yeah, I think Leandries realizes.
I put the scheme in schematic.
Isn't this on a stock system? Yeah.
Yes, yes, hurry. I have important work to get back to. It's smaller than the diagram.
1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2.
Raise your what?
What a silly little champ. Dinger's actually kind of hard to fully optimize. I think to get all of your resets on his like stuff.
For great science.
But like his turrets are great because you can summon them to
What a reaction.
to block like to block hooks and things from Blitz or Nautilus or whatever. So that's one of the big things, that you can block hooks for yourself or for your allies if you're close enough and you drop those turrets. So that's one of the main reasons I want to try to pick him up, because I think he's very good against those types of engaged champs.
Let me fix that.
The enemy has been slain.
Smile. Everyone's watching.
It's smaller than the diagram.
An enemy has been slain.
I require my adjustable reverse resting magnetic box wrench. science. Goggles on.
2. Through my work shall transcend. 1.
An enemy has been slain.
Stop that! You will damage my turret. It's smaller than the diagram. You are poorly designed for this.
We got TP. I'm just gonna try to push up as much as we can here.
Back, you dirty ape! Back!
Not bad, not bad.
An enemy has been slain.
Alright, I think that's probably the most important thing, is getting that mana. Give him the dinger.
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
Action.
They'll have a few screws loose by the end of this.
I'm really not sure what I'm supposed to be doing with this. Oh, he flashed.
You will learn.
If I hit him with that, I think I can do the ultra rockets and kill him, probably.
Stand back! I am about to do science! It's smaller than the diagram. Ha! Mind your vectors!
Freaking Yumi is so obnoxious. You're not gonna kill him. What? He's got a Yumi sitting on him.
Rampage.
Okay, maybe with the Soraka help.
Shut down.
I stand corrected. With Soraka, you can get him. Alright.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Am I supposed to drop a turret while I'm walking up? The extra movement speed?
I could do that better.
Oh, that gives you stacks towards mana flow? Oh, is that?
Wonderfully efficient.
Before you get a lot of AP, those turrets can kind of mess up your last hitting.
An enemy has been slain.
The cosine of the root divided by...
Yeah, it's gonna be the hardest part is learning that. I think I saw people maxing turret second.
Working as intended. It's smaller than the diagram.
I believe your rockets, if they kill the target, they go through, so you get more out of it.
Find the formula for success.
Let me try to push this and then go farm like Scuttle or our jungle if we can.
Every problem solved is another revealed.
Godlike.
Back to the drawing board.
Turret plate will fall soon.
This behavior
Killing spree.
exceeding turret output capacity. It's smaller than the diagram.
This
Eureka!
why?
Your team has destroyed a turret.
By my calculations,
One, two,
how subtly.
through my work, you shall transcend.
I put the scheme in schematic. Yes, hurry. I have
Damn.
important work to get back to. It's smaller than the diagram.
Yeah, if I would have hit that stun, then obviously it would have been nice.
Step closer to greater understanding.
Yeah, this rock is playing pretty well.
Has destroyed a turret.
Just as I hypothesized.
An ally has been slain.
Not nearly enough valuable.
Action.
See, I'm not sure if I think I saw them maxing
Smaller than the diagram.
Q, but I don't know if maxing E, that probably affects the damage you would do, because I'm trying to throw the E ult, because that's the easiest one to hit. I think it gives like a pretty big stun and bounces. I'd have to look it up though. Obviously I'm a Heimerdinger amateur, so. But obviously having the turrets bigger, I think does more damage with them. I'm not sure. The turrets are weird. I think part of their damage is based on level.
An ally has been slain.
I mean, Echo's been down here about as much as the,
Legendary.
Entropy, a never-ending cycle. It's smaller than the diagram. Range draw, what? Ah, the sweet smell of science.
I do love me some wave clear. And farm in the jungle.
What an uncommon denominator.
I think he's trying to say that you're at like 0 health. Math nerds unite.
Order, entropy, a never-ending cycle.
That's what it is.
An enemy has been slain. An ally has been slain. Shut down.
Fascinating, isn't it?
Has destroyed. Enemy killing
We about done blowed him up there.
It's smaller than the diagram. For great science!
Alright. I think we have enough for Rylai's, don't we? Yeah.
42. There's just something about that number.
Probably could have GLP'd him and then hit him with the grenade.
Aha! 42. I knew it! Now!
An enemy has been slain.
What a reaction! Ah, the sweet smell of science! Very interesting. diagram.
An ally has been slain. Enemy rampage. Enemy double kill.
Holy crap.
Your team has destroyed a turret. Your turret has been destroyed.
Back to the drawing board.
He has been slain. An enemy is unstoppable.
By my calculations,
Yeah, we need to go get that Drake. We don't have a wave, guys.
stop that! You will damage my turret.
I'm liking the dinger. The South has gotten into the prop again. That's right.
An enemy has been slain.
I'll be cuddling.
Shut down.
It's smaller than the diagram. You are poorly designed for this.
We're just going to go for a Leandre's next, I think. Could also try to go for a death cap. I don't know what his ratios are. I'm just going to go ahead and get a Leandre's.
I put the scheme in schematic.
Right, the Dawn, that's right. Somehow Jin is still out farming me. I don't understand. He must be taking a lot of farm from other people. Yeah, the Katarina only has 90 farms. I'm like, there's no way their team is farming better than our team, because I've done so much of a better job managing the side waves. And Trenomir's like managing the waves like really well. Jin's just getting every piece of farm that comes up to mid lane, pretty much.
An enemy has been slain.
One step closer to brighter understanding.
Shut down.
time, bruh.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
Yeah, I think it's like 130. It might even be lower than that. It might be like 115 for camps. They spawn pretty quickly. Like almost no one farms them fully efficiently, so that's why.
Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
It's smaller than the diagram.
There we go. Dinger's pretty fun. I like Dinger. I'm digging it. He does have nice poke, but he also has pretty zone control and pretty good zone control and peel. He does start to fall off a little bit at like higher elo brackets, I think. I mean, he has been played in pro. He is one of the mages that was being played when mages were being played in the bot lane some, but I'm digging him. I like him. I still think that Cassio is really good. But Dinger is, you know, really difficult to dive, which is nice in this meta. And obviously, I'm not even good at all with him, so this is nice. We just kind of hung in there. We did all right. Putting up some pressure. But that's part of the fun of the Smurf, you know. I get to try out some different stuff. Slowly incorporate into my mana pool. And I like that too, because then if I get, you know, if I can get good on things like Cassiopeia or Heimerdinger, then, you know, if I do have to play mid lane or top or whatever, like those champs can play in all three of those roles, at least a little bit. So, I think that is pretty nice. So I ended up with like pretty solid farm. The Gen got a lot, but you know, he was basically taking all of it from Katarina. Katarina only had 100 farm. So I ended up getting their golems like 2 or 3 times bot lane, and they ended up losing a lot of, well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's necessary. Like, it is really good on him, but they didn't have that much that was going to dive me. But yeah, usually it is really good on him. Okay. Well, that's a good one to go out on. We'll practice some dingers some more over the next few days. I think that'll be a nice, fun little project to work on. But, anyways, that's going to be it. Thank y'all very much. We'll be back tomorrow around 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see y'all then. And until then, have a good day.